Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whenever, whatever time it is when you're watching this. I want to welcome you to today's Training Thursday. I'm actually going to be talking about my masterclass series that I am doing next week. I am super excited to be bringing this to you guys because I have been working my butt off to get this ready for you guys. I'm so excited about it. I'm actually going to be teaching you the framework that I've been using with my clients for the past 8 months to a year on really helping them narrow down and focus on their offer so that way they can build the business that they love. And so one of the really cool things about working with people, if you don't know this about me, I've been building websites and been a marketing consultant for about 20 years now. And I've worked with a whole bunch of different companies and a bunch of different people. And especially as a website developer, like once people know that I build websites, like everyone underneath the sun always like, hey, can you build me a website? Hey, can you build me a website? And the thing that I've learned so much, like hands down, probably the biggest thing that people, one of the mistakes they make is that they think that once they have a website, they're going to have a business, and that it's not. It's not. Like a website is not going to bring you a business. In as a web developer, it actually kind of pains me to even say that, right? But it was something that I saw just so consistently, how people just thought, oh, if I just make one announcement about it and create a website where people can go, they're just going to magically find me. And that did work, back in like the early 2000s and maybe even 2010, but it's a whole different world now. And what work used to work in business doesn't really always work the same way now. In fact, actually most of the things are the same. It's just you have to do these like little tweaks, and sometimes a little tweak can make a huge difference. And so the reason I'm excited about this Create a Magnetic offer is I'm actually going to walk you through, as I said, the entire framework of what I take people through in my program that I have. And you're going to learn exactly what it is that you need to focus on. And so some of you are going to be able to come into this masterclass series and take away just tremendous amount of aha moments, and hopefully it'll be that piece that you need to just propel your business forward, because sometimes it's just one little thing that we hadn't thought about. And so once I've seen firsthand what happens when I've been working with my clients and seeing how just sometimes these small minor shifts in what they're doing for their offer, whether it's in messaging or in the strategy or in the actual program development or what needs to be put in there or all of that stuff. Like there's so much that goes into making, an offer. And if you don't know what an offer is, it's just what it is that you want people to buy. So it could be a product, it could be a program, it could be an online course, it could be one-to-one group coaching. One-to-one group coaching, one-to-one coaching or group coaching. It could be anything, right? So whatever it is that you do, whether it's a service or product, it does not matter. That's your offer. And so in this series next week, I'm going to talk to you all about how to make it magnetic, meaning how to really focus on the elements that are going to bring in the people that want to work with you, because you can be the best at whatever it is that you're doing, or you can be the worst at whatever it is that you're doing. But it's all about how you put your entire offer together is what people buy. And so, that's when I want to make sure that we go through this and that you understand like all of the elements that you really need to focus on to make sure that you're getting the people in that you want to work with. Because being magnetic really means about, being, in who you are and what your business is, and being so clear and defined with it that people just want to work with you. And so I've seen this consistently. It is one of the things that okay, let me back up a second. So one of the things I really love doing is research. So I am a research junkie like nobody's business. And it doesn't always have to be about business. It's everything. If you know me from orgasm coaching, I am nuts about neuroscience in particular and about how the brain works. I have a son who has a brain injury, so I've been learning about Funny enough, I've actually been learning about the brain since before he was born because I was kind of like really into that anyway. And then once he was born and he had his brain injury, I went like crazy into neuroscience and how the brain develops and why we do the things that we do, just so I could be a better mom to him, right? But that all kind of comes together actually in my business coaching because I love seeing patterns. And so I actually, one of my projects that I did, like my own personal projects that I did a few months ago, was I went and used, there's this website where it's like the Wayback Time Machine, or I can't, something like what, Time Machine. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Once I do my search, I can find it. But you can actually see every single website that has ever been built on the web since like basically the inception of the internet, and you can actually go back and look. And so I did this project. Researched all like the really big, or not all, but I researched a ton of really big successful coaches, and mostly coaches, but some of them weren't, and it wasn't necessarily business coaches. Like I did all kinds of different industries just to kind of see what it was they were doing. And I saw these trends about from when they weren't successful and when they were. And I was able to like narrow that all down, and was like, oh, this is what they started focusing on and this is what they did. And I could see these distinct patterns because I noticed that when I listened to most of the people that have really good successful programs out there, they talk about how they struggled for a couple years. You know, some it's like I struggled for a year. Some it's like I struggled for a couple years. Some are like I struggled for 5 years before I figured out the magic solution. Or, you know, now let me teach you the strategy. And so I decided to skip that step, and I decided to actually see what it was that they did and see where the consistencies were, because you're never going to be able to follow someone else's strategy to a T. You're always going to have to shift it and make it your own in order for it to work. So I wanted to see what the general patterns were with this, and then I took that, kind of did my thing and like got it all so it was like really easy to understand, and saw the as I said, the patterns and what they did. And then I started working with my clients to do that, and oh my gosh, we started making these huge shifts. And then the other thing that I did was I brought in the human design chart. I don't know if you've ever done it. It's a really cool thing. It's kind of like astrology, because there's astrology that's like put in it, but it's not astrology. So actually it combines Western astrology, Eastern astrology, the chakra system, Kabbalah, I Ching, and I'm missing one. Oh, I can't remember what the other one is. It'll come to me. But anyways, it actually is also based on quantum physics, which is actually really cool because I am a total like sci-fi junkie, and I have like way more credits when I was in college for science classes than anyone should ever have when you graduate with a marketing degree. So I have like always been a little bit obsessed with science, and I love like quantum physics, and I've gone really deep into that. And actually it was really cool seeing this human design system and how it actually has a foundation in science. And so I was like super intrigued by that. And so I started applying that with my clients, and we've all been blown away with how accurate the human design chart is. And not only that, how it just provides this really cool like permission slip to be able to be who you've known you always were. And so I've incorporated that with my all these other patterns, and then my years of like marketing strategy and like doing online businesses, because you know I've been doing the website, so I've done the marketing consulting, but I've also been helping people build online businesses for a really long time. And so knowing how all of that works together, and you know putting all of those pieces together, I have developed this framework, and I'm super excited to bring it to everybody, because I just want everyone to be living the life that they want. And funny enough, it's actually in my human design chart that my main purpose. I'm a generator, and so one of the things as a generator is that finding really fulfilling work is really part of like our main mission in life. And it's actually in my chart that I am meant to help people be successful. And I just thought that was so cool once I discovered that, because I was actually already on this path and already working on being a success doula when I discovered that part of my human design chart. And I just, of course, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I just, there's all these really wonderful nuggets inside the human design chart, but that is for another day. So I won't really be going deep into the human design chart in the masterclass series next week. Sorry, my brain sometimes. But I will be talking about the framework that I use. The human design chart it's so specific and so unique to each person. So it's a little more complicated than being able to show you in 5 days. It takes like months and months to really get a grasp on it. So that's not what this training is going to be about. It's really going to be more about like the strategies, and it's going to be talking a lot of bit about the mindset and how to like pull all of that together. And as I said, sometimes it's just that little tweak that you need in order to really get that energy and that boost, so you create that growth in your business. And it is all tied, as I said, like energy. It's really tied to the energetics of what it is that you're doing. That's the quantum physics part of it. And it's really cool once you start putting all of that together and really, diving, like, I don't want to say diving deep, but like really going into that process and putting these different pieces that we all kind of know and we learn and we hear about. And that's what I'm going to be helping you with next week, is putting these pieces, these like what seem to be very disparate pieces together. And so that way you can figure out which areas of your business you really need to focus on, so that way you can start making the money that you want to make and get those clients in, so that way you can make the money that you want to make. You just want to, get everything so clear and focused, so that way you can build the business that that you want to do, right? So that is basically what I'm talking about next week, right? And so I have 5 days and I have 4 bonus sessions. So during the 5 days, I've created this system to help you on, you need to go, like not need to, but you really should go. Basically they build, like there's a reason for all of the days. They're put there very specifically. On day 1, we start talking really about like the overall picture, and then start fine tuning, so you can start fine tuning it. And then on day 2, we're talking specifically on your brand authority, because whether you've been in business a long time or a short time, it does not matter. There are ways to build your brand authority, and that is a really essential component in attracting the clients that you want to work with. Otherwise, it's going to be more about throwing spaghetti on the wall. And so I don't want you to be spending all this time doing a bunch of things that aren't going to bring you in the results. I want to show you how to really maximize your time and energy, so that way you don't lose that time and energy. You can spend it, with your family, or focusing on your business, or going out with friends, whatever it is that, makes you happy. I want you to be spending more time doing that and less time, trying all these different strategies that may or may not work. I want to show you how to actually build your brand authority. And then on day 3, we are going to be talking specifically about how to attract those clients in, like the ones that you really, really want to work with. And I'm going to show you the different steps, because a lot of times we have a bunch of these pieces. As I've said, we've all been, no matter how long you've been doing this, you've picked up information along the way. I'm sure you've had a job. At least, most people that I've worked with, they've all had at least some form of income, prior to opening up a business. So we all have our different experiences. So sometimes we are really strong maybe in sales, but we don't have any marketing experience, or maybe we have a lot of strength in admin, but we don't have any sales and marketing, or sometimes we have systems, and, there's all these different areas. So, I want to talk to you specifically about like your marketing and sales strategies, and really how to bring those people in. And then on day 4, we're going to tie it all together to create a sales pitch. So this is, day 3 is really about, day 2 and 3 is really about marketing. And so those key components that you need to focus on. And day 4 is going to be about selling. And I'm going to give you a really quick strategy that you can use. It's called an elevator pitch. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't. And it's about being able to talk to someone in 2 minutes or less about what it is that you do, so that we can get them really excited about working with you. And because we're out there talking to people all the time, and even though we know what we want, or what we do, sometimes it takes us 10, 15 minutes to be able to get to the point. And that is not necessarily very useful when you are just getting it this one opportunity to talk to someone and get them really enthused and excited about what it is. Sometimes you don't have that 15 minutes to really get to the heart of it. You want to get them in the first couple minutes so that way the next time that you're spending with them, that you can, answer questions or, ask them questions and get them really, in tuned with what it is that you do. And because even if they don't work with you, a lot of times they know someone else that your program would be great for, or your offer, whatever it is that you're offering. And then on day 5, I'm going to talk about all the rest of the key components of your business and help you figure out which areas you need to focus on and give you some suggestions on where to go to get that help, because we don't do this all alone. And even though pretty much all the information is available over on YouTube, it takes a lot of time to filter through everything and figure out what you need to be focusing on, because one person's going to say this and one person's going to say that and one person's going to say this. So we're going to go over that. And then I have the 4 bonus sessions. And so the first bonus session is about how to be a 5D business owner in a 3D world. And this is for my people that are very, have developed a really, deep spiritual practice. And that there's so much more than what we can see here in this 3D world. And so I'm going to be talking really about how to work with that, because you can't be just have your head up in the clouds all the time and focusing on like, oh, I want to help everybody and do that. Because we do, like, that is what, we're humans and we want to help our other humans, right? And especially if we've overcome our own personal tragedies or triumphs, and we want to share that with the world so that way they can do that as well. Sometimes it's really hard to find how to balance that. Like, how do you be the spiritual being when you live here on earth? And so I'm going to talk a little bit about different strategies that you can use to really focus on that and help you, bring those, really fun, heartwarming, what's the word I'm looking for? Open throat. By the way, I have an open throat if you know anything about human design. Sometimes words leave me. But anyways, bringing in all those ideas. Ouch, that was my elbow. Bringing all those ideas and bringing them down into this reality, and how our life experiences have affected us, and how sometimes it is our life experiences that keep us from being able to achieve some of those bigger goals. And so that's what that session is about. And then I also have a session on how to create an auto magical business. And if the word automation scares you or you think it's cold, I am going to show you some really awesome tips and tricks about how and why you should use automation, because automation can be one of the best tools in your entire business to create connection, like real connections with the people. And you can serve them more because it's automatic, right? But it's actually, you can design your automated systems to like nurture and create this community, so that way you can help them when they need the help. Because otherwise you're always going to be in that situation where you're having to answer and respond in your own time. And although that's great, and when there's always a place for that, like we really need to build those connections, but there's also a place for automation to be able to help you create those connections first or in the middle, so that way they can get the support when they need it. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about in the how to create an auto magical business. And then, oh my gosh, I forgot the other 2. Hold on. Oh my gosh, why did I just forget what they are? And then I have oh yeah, are you making one of the 5 common mistakes that leaves money on the table? So this is this is like a specially curated bonus session where I'm gonna talk specifically about like the 5 biggest mistakes that I see people make in their business that is costing them money. So like, if you do not want to lose money, then you need to make sure that you're not doing one of these 5 mistakes, because if you are making one of these mistakes, you are definitely losing money that could be in your pocket and making your life easier, right? And then the last one is stop procrastinating by getting in alignment. And if you've been around here, you know I've talked about procrastination. And so one of the things that I personally struggle with, I have ADHD. And so one of the components, if you're not familiar with ADHD, is it's very, very common for ADHD people to procrastinate. But you don't have to have ADHD in order to be a procrastinator. There are like 4 main reasons why people don't procrastinate, and it really does have to do with alignment, and really understanding why you procrastinate will help you fix those problems. And so I'm going to explain to you what those things are, so that way you can actually help create systems and processes and anything, the things that you need to do, the shifts, the mindset shifts, in order for you to stop procrastinating. All right, so that is the overview of my Create a Magnetic Offer Masterclass series that is starting next week. The registration is in you can see it at my website, thesuccessdoula.com. You can go there, register. There will be a workbook that is sent out to you to follow along, so that way you can get really clear on your magnetic offer, and then also all of the instructions on how to like put the elevator pitch together, so that way you can sell what it is that you do. Because honestly, we are meant to do big things in this world. I know you're meant to do big things in this world, because you have gifts and abilities that no one else has. And it does the world a disservice if you do not get your offer out there, so that way you can help people. And I want you to be able to do that. I want to see, it's so much better if everybody is living a life they love. Can you imagine what this world would look like if everyone was successful at what that is they were doing? Now, not everyone is meant to be a business owner. That is for certain. And so I'm not talking just about that, but just everyone in general. Like, what if, how what you're doing is going to impact the world, how you're going to make, people's lives better, or create transformations, or provide a product that is, going to bring joy and laughter. And the more people are in this, like, I hate saying like high vibes or positive vibes only, that stuff. But at the same time, there's some truth to that. Like, but if we can be more in a grounded, elevated state, the world would be a better place. So that's why I really, really, really want you, specifically you, whoever is watching this right now, I want you to be successful, because I want you to help make that change and be that person that is going to make the world a better place with what it is that you do. So I hope to see you next week. You can, as I said, go to thesuccessdoula.com, sign up. If you're watching this on Facebook, there will be a link there, and I'll put the link over in YouTube as well. So sign up, get registered, join the Facebook group, because there's a place there to be able to create community and meet other people that are on this journey with you. And I hope to see you